Welcome back to the shop. What we got going on right now is this coolant overflow tank. So I've had this sitting on the bench for, I don't know, better part of a year probably. And I'm going on a fairly long trip here pretty quick, so I'm going to quickly get this in the car and we're just going to attach it to the rad. So as you can see, Plasma cut out this bracket. I'm going to use some blue Loctite on these bolts and get them down into the bracket. Yeah, actually I have to drill these holes out a tiny little bit. So I'm just going to go do that quickly, grab a socket, come back and put this together. Alright, so it's kind of hard to get this all in one shot, but this is the outlet of the radiator, so if it overpressurizes, gets too hot, etc., etc., it's going to come out here. Now, where this is angled, so yeah, so where this is angled is directly at my front tire. You can't really see it in there, it's kind of dark, but my front tire is right there under the procharger intake. So having coolant potentially shooting straight at my tire, not a good idea. So we are going to mount that coolant or overflow right on the shock tower, and then we'll get a hose going from the rad to that overflow. So we'll just quickly get that done. Alright, so now we have our catch can here. It's good enough. It's not going anywhere. We need to run a line over to the barb on the rad. So I've just got some -6 line here. What's going to happen is we're going to run this down on top of the tube front end. It's going to go into the rad. We'll have this come down and zip tie with the power steering line nice and clear under the power steer, or the power steering. This is my power steering unit right here. My procharger, my supercharger. Make sure it's clear under the supercharger belt. Fucking power steering. God, I'm an idiot. I was talking about the power steering line. Yeah, whatever. So anyways, run this line here, and then this will just come up into our overflow tank. I thought I had some tape. Do I have tape on me somewhere? Oh, I'm an idiot sometimes. What did I do with the tape? I thought I had tape. Maybe I didn't bring tape? No, I thought I brought tape. Ah, there it is. Okay. Yep, so here, we're gonna go here. Cut it right around here. Okay. Let's go over to the bench and cut this. So, I mean, truthfully, I could have cut this anywhere. I did not have to come over to the bench. I just felt like it. Normally in the past I would use a die grinder or a cutoff wheel in order to cut this, but with all my PTFE stuff I was using these cutters right here. So I figured what the hell, I'll try it on the rubber stuff too, see if it works, because these cut through all the fibers on the PTFE line no problem. And if this works, this is much cleaner. Doesn't leave a bunch of debris in the line. Alrighty. Oh, hell yeah, that is the best way to cut AN line. I wish I had that so much sooner. That just cuts so freaking clean. Hell yeah, these Mishimoto cutters are dope. Okay, back to the car and I'll show you how we're going to secure this. So what I'm going to use for this are these little aluminum ends with hose clamps in them. These will just slide over the end line, and then I can just tighten it down with a screwdriver or a wrench. And while it's not as fancy as a full-on proper AN line, in this instance where it's just for overflow, it's not going to be constantly under pressure or anything like that. It's good enough. Not only that, but I do have all of the AN fittings and stuff that I need to do this properly. That's just, you know, not a right now project. That'll be a winter project. Right now, I just want this working so I can fill up the rad fully and make sure I don't overheat. So these just slip on over the hose, kind of tight. You can just work them in there. Work them up to the very end. And then you just tighten them down, just like a regular hose clamp. Holy crap, takes a bit of effort apparently to work it past this barb. Oh, okay, that's always fun. Oh, crap. Okay. That was probably on there enough. why this doesn't go on anymore.
I mean, I don't think I can really undo this anymore, but I'll try. No, that's fully loose. Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. Okay. Okay, now I'm just gonna grab a wrench and we're gonna tighten that down. Okay, well that's what we call it. Oh yeah, that's solid. That ain't going nowhere. Okay, maybe a little bit smarter this time. WD-40. Just a little lubricant. Help it go in. I don't know why I didn't do this the first time around. I don't know better than to go in dry. It's gonna be the same thing. Take the tape off. Okay. Sure, that one went on easy because I lubed it up. Okay, so we just tighten it down. Of course, you can't see what I'm doing now. Yeah, it's not going nowhere. So I know it's really difficult to see in here, but this is my electric water pump.
This is my idler pulley for the procharger. And currently at RPM, this idler is in fact hitting the water pump, and it's digging a little groove into it, which is not good. So I talked to the guy I got this procharger kit from. He said, can you maybe change the idler to a different position? If I recall correctly, I attempted this before and it just did not work, but I got a little bit of time right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull the procharger off, or not the procharger, we're gonna pull the belt off. Let's just zoom out here. We're gonna pull this belt off. So what that's going to involve is there is a 1/2 inch nut here. This is the last thing we're gonna work on. So we're going to loosen this 3/4 inch nut on the front. There is a 9/16 bolt down at the bottom of this rod. We're gonna loosen that off. After this is loosened, that bottom rod is loosened, then we can take our 1/2 inch on this guy and adjust this. I think we're going to loosen this, and then that's going to let the, or by loosening it, it's going to bring this up. We're going to loosen this off and then like pull this bolt part of the way out so that it clears the water pump. Then we can loosen this off the rest of the way. This will come loose and we can pull this off. Okay, so for the next part, I don't actually need to take the belt all the way off just to mess with the tensioner. 9/16 bolt here. I want to say it's a 9/16 nut down here, and then this one is going through, I believe, is that going into the head? Yeah, this one goes through and into the head, so I think this is a 5/8 bolt here. Oh, how's my boy? I love you. How's my boy? Come on, come on. Yeah. Hey, carburetor. Hey, carb. Okay, now that we have the tensioner out of here, what we need to do is pull this bolt fully out. That's on a 9/16. Then this will just, since this guy on the front is loose, we'll just slide around. And there are three or four. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 3 separate positions that this can go. So there's this one, which would shoot this tensioner way up. just throw that back in there. That is going to interfere with the AC compressor. So that's obviously a no-go. Position, maybe? Maybe not. But as we can see, that is going to interfere with the power steering pump. I mean, I don't know how this tensioner works. Yeah, I was thinking I could potentially get another hole drilled in the back. The problem with that is this tensioner has 3 little dowels for setting this. So yeah, that's really not gonna work. Pull that out, we'll just set it back to the original. Alright, well, for shits and giggles, I do have a 70-inch belt. The old one was a 69-inch belt. So I did try this one before and it was too long. The tensioner didn't really work at all. But I figured, what the hell, maybe I fucked something up. Let's just slam this on here again and just, you know, double check and make sure it doesn't work. I mean, that's vastly different than, like, that 1 inch makes such a big difference. That's what she said. So I'm not gonna fully throw this on. I just want to kind of test this. Seems fairly loose to me. I mean, that's almost completely out. And that's pulling off. So, you know, that might work. You know what? I think that'll do what I need it to do. I don't like how close it is to the crank pulley, but I think it'll be all right. Okay, I think that'll do what I need it to do. Oh. Yeah, so, you know, if I had less ribs and I was trying to really turn a lot of RPM out of this, that might be an issue. But you know, if I get a little bit of belt slip, I don't need max boost. As it is, making 15 pounds is too much for this specific engine. So I think if I only made, you know, 10, I'd be okay. So if I got a little bit of belt slip, I'd be fine for now. Obviously, when I build my new engine, I don't want any belt slip, but let's just run with this and see what happens, I guess. This will also mean that my belt is away from the tensioner, because that was another problem. It was rubbing on the edge of the tensioner. So I think this will do. Let's slam this back together.